Now I know what you guys are thinking. I just said I was going to be consistent with this. Oh, fuck. Hi, people. For a minute, I've just kind of been like a little bit in a rut, I guess, which is like fine. Like everybody has that. Like I don't expect anybody to be like, "Why didn't you post content?" But I don't know. I feel like maybe like the collapse of everything with everything going on right now has been maybe affecting me a little bit. I don't know. The thing is like we're all going through it. So it's like, all right, what what am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? But I think the biggest thing that like was inhibiting me from like making something or like making just any videos or like anything that I wanted to say was just kind of like stuff like my bed wasn't made, but like I don't have the mental energy to make it right now. Or like I had some acne and I my hair was a mess and like I didn't do my laundry in a minute. Like things like that. Like I know I could just like snap right in and then just like get that done and then be like, all right, cool. Like on top of it, make content. But it's just like I don't know, man. I procrastinate. But I think the biggest thing is like I'm using all of those as an excuse to hide like what I'm really afraid of, which is judgment, which is something that I often like try to parade like, "Oh, I don't really care about opinions and people's perceptions of me." And it's like the whole thing is like being human, that's part of it. Like that's part of the experience. Like people are going to experience you, people are going to have projections and preconceptions and things like that. And it's like I understand that, and I've always like walked valiantly like in the middle of a dance floor and like not give a fuck. Whatever, I'll dance. I don't know. I think it's like a combination of like, some family members, some friends like see me on here and like maybe they're just like, "Oh, like he's like posting weird stuff, like or he's doing weird stuff and stuff." And not that anyone's like come up to me and said that, And realistically, like nothing is I feel like it's safe to say that the curtain has been lifted on a lot lately in society, and like I'm still sitting here trying to abide by like the rules of how we interact with each other, I guess. I don't know. What I mean by that is it's like crazy has been proven to be true. Like all of that stuff has been proven to just exist, and like I want to say it but I don't want to say it, you know what I mean? But it's like I'm sitting here thinking like my dreams and aspirations and like what I want to create through my content and like the ideas that I want to present and like the way that I want to go about it. Like I'm sitting here like, wow, this is complex and this is profound, and like, I feel like a lot of people understand it. And when I explain it, people understand it, but I still sit here and I'm just like, it's going to be too weird. It's going to be too niche. I don't know. Like people aren't going to I don't know if people will perceive it properly. But that's like the entire point of the project. And I had to kind of like reframe it for myself and be like, it's up for interpretation. I don't know, it's weird. Like I've been like over analyzing everything, which is like good, but like bad because it leads to stagnation. I don't really know. I genuinely can't tell if I'm just saying a bunch of nothing right now. I just need to do it. I just need to put my mind to it because it's like I know I can. Like that's why I want to do it. And I have the tools necessary to like learn how to do it, to just be it, to embody something, to like share the ideas that I have with the world in an intentional way. But I'm still sitting here like, I don't know, like they might look at me and be like, "Oh, like his beard's uneven," or like, "Oh, like, what is he wearing?" I don't know, some bullshit. And I started to realize like a lot of like famous people or people that have made it have been fucking crazy in the past. And I'm not saying like I want to be like, but I just want to be like enough delusional that it's like, you know what? Oh my god, sorry. The button for a day girl, her. So it doesn't have to make sense to anyone else but me in order for me to do it, and I don't feel like explaining it. Her. I think that's one of my biggest lessons, or like I guess my two main lessons for 2026 are to stop procrastinating, figure shit out, and just like do it. Allow yourself to feel if you need to feel, by all means, but like stop procrastinating. Just go, like just learn and figure out the process at your pace. Cool. But also two, that I don't have to explain it to anybody. And I think that's the juxtaposition that I've been like chasing to figure out like why I don't just do things. And I think it's because like I'm always afraid of the possible negative feelings associated with that, which could come from judgment, or it could come from like a lack of perfection or a lack of, being understood. But like that's not the point. Like realistically, like none of us have control over the entire narrative that we have about ourselves, you know, or at the very least that like people have about ourselves. Like one thing I always like try to focus on whenever it's like me interacting with people, I always keep in mind like I'm never going to give a person a valid reason to hate me. You know, I'm going to act as upright as I can, be as funny, be as charming, you know. And like yeah, that's like an act of social health because then like the way that I think about that is like the better that I stay consistent to like my morality and things like that, the more that like that can never be misconstrued within like within society or like the groups that I hang out with. You know what I mean? Like if someone were to be like, "Oh my god, like Anthony said such and such about so and so." It's like, "Well, no, like that doesn't sound right." You know, like let me actually like figure that out, you know? And like realistically, anybody could do that and just lie. So, society. But it's like I don't know, even doing stuff like that. Like I do that in regular conversation, and I'm like, oh, people are gonna enjoy this type of humor. People are gonna be funny. People, that's the humor that I enjoy. Hello. But at the same time, I'm sitting here like, maybe that was a little too weird. Maybe that was bad to yell into the mic. But like that's what gets people talking first and foremost. I don't know. I guess it's just a matter of like trusting that like you're good. You know, people will understand that. Make your art. Stay true to your values. Whatever the case is. I can't help but feel like I've derailed a bit from the conversation. But aside from that, like I have been so concerned with that while creating or wanting to create a project that is surrounding the idea of making my own world or like being comfortable within myself and knowing all of the different things that are going on and like not using that as an escape, but rather just kind of like a bit of comfort, just kind of like trying to do things on my terms, even though like throughout history it's not been, you know. And like even if it's only in like a little space or like a little thing that I create, like other people are invited in, and it's like, you know, whether or not they get it, cool. If they don't, cool. And just being okay with that. But what I really want is a conversation. I don't know, I just want to make something that like inspires, or well, not necessarily inspires. I want to make something that metaphorically means something so deep but isn't so readily available. I want people to look at things that I make and be like, "Whoa. No, there's something about this." Like on first listen it's like, "Yeah, we in a club." But then it's like after like singing it while dancing in the shower a little bit, or like in the car, or just like, you know, hanging out with friends, like, "Oh my god, this is a good song." It's like, oh wait, fuck, like damn, like shit. Like that's what pop music is nowadays. And like I don't know, let's look at Addison Rae, "Fame is a Gun." Like, fame is a gun and I point it blind. But it's like, fame is a gun and I point it blind. But the best part about it is that it's so nonsensical that your brain can't help but like try and fill in the gaps and make it make sense. And that's where the magic is. Crash and burn, girl, baby, swallow it dry. But also that's magic in and of itself, you know? Basically, the major takeaway from all of this is that I need to stop caring, but I need to start putting care into things so that other people can care, but also like not care. Because really, like, why do we care? Are we liking this podcast moment? Thank God for touch up, because like, what the fuck? But anyways, yeah, I've been going on a lot of rabbit holes about everything going on right now, and it is so crazy and so scary. Because it's like, wow, like that's what we're dealing with. But in a way, it's almost liberating to know that like all of these structures and all of these things that we've like governed ourselves and other people by, like they can only exist as much as we want them to. You know? Obviously, like, don't go around doing like crazy shit. But like, you can be a little delulu, you know? 4-4 not found in the system, 4-4 the new era. Shout out to Kiki. It's a K-pop group, not like a person. Unless you're Drake. Like, that's cool, but don't ya? Oh, listen, all of this to say, go for it, do the thing, be the person. I'm not that person yet, but at the end of the day, the world is my orange. Have a wonderful day.